Hello and welcome to Frostpunk 2. My name's Steve Woody, and in this absolute beginner's guide, we're going to be covering the prologue and chapter 1. I'm going to be talking you through the basics of the game, how the game mechanics work. If you've not played Frostpunk 1, this is slightly different in terms of game mechanics, but it is a survival-based economy management game with a kind of a punky feel to it. It's set in a frozen wasteland, and yeah, we're going to jump straight into it. So I'm going to let you enjoy the cutscenes as they go through, and we're going to just jump straight into how to play and what everything is. So first of all, the Wanderers, we have to survive, so click this button to start. And we're going to see the expedition arriving at a location ready to set up. And this is our kind of first, it's a little mini-map for us to play on. So the game is kind of made in scenarios. There's going to be quests and things that we need to do and achieve. And we'll be able to expand on this map as we play through. Okay, so the old dreadnought remains in pieces under layers of snow, but the scattered wagons still have resources inside. We must first break the ice to reach one of the oil wagons and construct an extraction district to use it. Then we can turn on the dreadnought's furnace to heat us up. We will restart the furnace. First thing I'm going to do is press space. It is in your interest to pause this game and just take time to kind of get used to everything and see kind of where everything is, because otherwise, if you start getting into trouble in this game, it snowballs very quickly. You will fail a lot, and it's okay. Just understand that it's the decisions you make that will determine your outcome here. So, first thing we need to do is understand the UI. So let me take a couple of minutes and just explain this to you. In the top left, you're going to see we have a pause, a slow, medium, and fast speed. You can use keys 1, 2, and 3 and a spacebar to be able to use those with hotkeys. Then at the top here, we can see our population. At any point when we're looking at something, we can press T. That will bring up the tutorial, and it will bring up the tutorial around that specific area. It's a nice little quality of life there to kind of get you used to things. If you're trying to learn, the T key will help you. All right, so this is your overall population, and then we have our workforce. These are the people that are available to work. They're of age, and they're of good sound to be able to work. And then we have our sick. So far, we have 1,950 available, which is 65% of the population, and no one is sick. Moving across, we have, these are, I would say, resources required for construction and growth, for repairs, and this is income that will come to you through various things that you'll set up in the game. Now, this is called scraps. It's not the currency, it is the currency symbol. But in the prologue, it's scraps. In chapter 1, it will be called something else. So don't get caught up on the name scraps. Just know that this is like currency. All right, we have an income of 22 per week from our individual contributions. And then we have prefabs. Prefabs are prefabricated construction materials that we can use to build and to repair. So this is everything to do with our kind of management and growth. Then flipping over to the other side, I'm going to come back to the middle section. We have all of our requirements. These are what the settlement requires in order to keep people happy. There is shelter. At the moment, there is food, and there are materials. Now, this will change and it will evolve in time. But to start us off with, they keep it nice and simple. So there are 3 different colors that we need to pay attention to. There is red, which means it's unfulfilled, which means it's a problem. There is gray, which means it's fulfilled. And then there is gold, which means it is surplus. At the moment, you can see here we have 10 fulfilled. Those are the people living inside the dreadnought wreck. We have 30 homeless people that we need to house. In terms of food, you can see here we have no stockpile. And we have a requirement to provide 50 free food, of which we are providing none. If we don't sort that out, people will die. And so that's something to consider. If we look at the middle section, this is our heat, which we can see at the moment is -20, and our fuel, which we have 0 available. So we need to provide fuel to the furnace or to the generator to be able to heat it up. We can see we're at -20 degrees here on the right hand side, and then we have a timeline over the next 10, 20, 30, 40 days. So we can see in about 45 days time, it's going to get colder. It's either going to go up 1 arrow or 2. In this case, it's going to go down 1, so it's going to get 10 degrees colder. The other option for the weather here is a whiteout, and that's when it drops 90 degrees. So it becomes very, very cold during those times. And we need to be able to survive those. So a whiteout is arriving in 88 weeks. For that, we need to be able to frost break to an oil wagon and construct an extraction device. We then need to turn on the furnace in the dreadnought. Alright, so in the bottom right-hand corner, there are 3 icons. There will be more later, but for now there are 3. These are districts, hubs, and Frostbreak. We'll talk about those in a moment as we progress. In the middle of the screen, we can see all of our communities. At the moment, we only have one, the Wanderers. And underneath, we can see our global trust. So how trusted we are as a leader. Okay, so in order to get started, we have to first understand how the map works. So WA, S and D to move, zoom in and out with middle mouse wheel, hold down middle mouse wheel to get a bit of a better view. And we can kind of zoom into this area, and this is the kind of the dreadnought. This is the train that you can see is kind of across the canyon here. And so we can click on this, and here we can see our generator, but there is no fuel. We cannot turn our generator on because there is no fuel. Therefore, we need to be able to expand. If we zoom out and hold down the Alt key, we can see an overlay of the area. So if we zoom out as far as we can go, this is the Prologue, the starter area. And from here, we can see all of the different resources that are available. It's really good just to take a moment and kind of figure out what's going on. In this instance, we can see fuel, there's oil, there is 60k here, and there's also 60k up here, and another 60k here. So I have 128,000 oil resources. We can also see here there is food. So this is, if we look here, this is fertile soil with 21,000 resources on each one. They're all finite at the moment. So this is all fertile soil. And at the bottom here, we have a seal colony. And this has got 400,000 food. So obviously a lot more food here. We can also see here we have, these are construction wagons, and they've got resources, which are prefabs. Prefabs are on the left-hand side. It's what we need for construction. There is a different type of resource, which is materials. Materials are what are required to keep our settlers happy. So prefabs are what we need to build. Materials are what keep the settlers happy. All right, so now we can see the map. We need to know, how do we move around? Well, it's quite simple. There are hexagons all the way around the map. It's broken up. And this is where we have to use the frost break. So we can either use our hotkey. I've rebound mine. Or you can just click on this. It even tells you with a little kind of overlay pinging towards it. But if I press the button, it will bring up this area. And it tells me what it is going to cost. So if I wanted to break the frost in this area, I can only go 1 square out from what is already broken. And what is already broken is this kind of grey area around this. This gives you kind of an outline. So I can go 8 squares. So if I go 1, it'll open at the next. And then I can go 2, 3. Keep going 4, 5, 6, 7. So now I have unlocked, or I've got a path to reach both of these resources. I can now start coming down towards the next one. Okay. So that will be my 8. I can go ahead and click the tick. It has to be all 8, or as many as you can do in the area. And then if I click this, it will now start through a small timer. You'll see that it will bring out the machines. Here they come. They're going to kind of clear this path for us. And so then we can start to move into this area. If I now go back to the frost break again, you'll see it's now grey where we've just cleared. And I can continue to move. So 1, 2 to come down to here. And I can come back up on myself. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Alright, so I can clear that area now. Now at the moment, I only need to focus on this one area, but I can actually start to clear the other side as well. But I need to bear in mind that when I do this, it is going to use up some of my scraps. So we've only got a finite amount, we need to be careful. So at that point, now this is done, we're going to look to build. So we use the frost break to be able to clear the area. Once the area is cleared, we can then build. So to build, we need to lay down a district. There are, at the moment, 3 types of district. More will become available later. And we have a housing district. This construction of this requires 100 workforce, 140 prefabs, and 60 scrap. So we can see we have those. But then we need to put 100 workforce in there to maintain it. It requires 100 workforce. It will demand 40 heat, and it will output 15 shelter. Okay, so the next is the food district. Similar, but this is going to demand heat and materials, and it is going to output food. Okay, the next one that we have here is our construction. So the extraction, we can put an extraction on any type of output, either prefab, material, or fuel. So we're going to use the fuel right now, so extraction, and as long as it covers this square, that's all it needs to do. If it covers this square, we are going to extract the resources from it. But we can also, because we need 3 tiles in total, put one here and one here. So we need 3 tiles in total. Once we do this, it will start to build. And that's all we need to do at the moment to be able to get fuel. I can speed this up a little bit. We've done the frost break to an oil wagon and constructed an extraction district. That is now done. And if I just pause again and click on this, we can now see that the requirement of this is 150 workforce. So if I look at my workforce now, you can see that out of the total, I had 1950. I've got 150 that are employed here. As a result, this is going to output 60 fuel or 60 oil. It requires 20 heat and 20 materials. So we can now see we are minus 40 on heat. And we can even see the reason behind that. So 20 for the wreck, for the dreadnought, for the generator, and 20 for the extraction district. So minus 40. We know we're generating 60. And we can also choose, by using this, how much. So this is going to be 0, 20, 40, 60, 80, or 100% efficiency. We can even overclock this with an emergency shift. This will increase production, but it will reduce trust. Anything blue is positive or a gain. Anything red is negative or a loss. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we're going to click on our dreadnought wreck. We're going to click on our generator. And now, because we have fuel coming in, we can turn the generator on. Now, as you can see, we have power. So 60 coming in. We're outputting 40 fuel, but we're using 20 of that fuel. All right. So we have a surplus of plus 40 oil. What that means is we're producing heat. So we need 60 heat. We're using up 40 at the moment. We have a surplus. We have 20 left over. All right, good so far. 20 of these equals 40. We have more available as and when we need it. Anytime you see these little icons, you can click on them and it will just give you a bit of story or a decision to make. Some of them will have timers. Some of them will just stay there. And now we need to move over to creating houses. So we need to frost break a construction wagon, which we can see is here. This is the construction wagon. So we're going to frost break again. We've already done it to this area. And then what we're going to do is we're going to expand around here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then we can do 8. Right, that's going to break that area. We've already broken the other side. So what we can now do is extract again. So another district, extraction, and we need to extract this area. So 1 on top, but we need to do 3. So we just do 2 here. The other 2 don't matter, but it does require a minimum of 3. So this is the one that counts. Now, as a result, that's going to build. We'll just speed up time. So we're clearing this area now, and we're building here. And so this is how the game is. It's made up of these different districts. If I hold down the Alt, I will see there are 2 yellow districts. These are extractions. All right, so we can see what's going on. Now I need to build a housing district. So with the housing district, I can place it wherever I want. Doesn't matter, but this requires 6 spaces rather than 3. If I right click, I can remove them. But you'll notice there are some blue squares. This says near generator. If I put this down, I'm going to get a boost because I'm placing it near the generator. But in order to achieve that boost, I need to do however many it says. In this case, 3. So I would need to have 1, 2, 3. That way I could put this down here. If I wanted to, I could go around further. So I could go around 4. Okay, and then what I would need is the ability to keep doing this until I've done all 6 squares. Now here's the problem. And it's not a problem, but the thing to consider. I can put the others down wherever I need them or wherever I want them. These 3 are aligned with this generator, so I'm getting plus 20 heat as a result. I do that, that's great. But it says I need 2 sets of houses, so I'm going to do another housing district. So this one, I can do the same on the other side, and that will do the same thing. 1, 2, 3. So it's aligned. But this is only 1 square on here. That means that I can't get the 3. 1, because this hasn't been frost broken. 2, because I have a different district in the way. So I'm not going to get the additional boost on both sides. I'm not going to boost this one or this one. So if I did that, if I move this over 1, and then I opened up this area, I could put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I would get the boost from the generator, and I would boost this district and that district. So it's really about placement of districts and how you put things down to really maximize the boost and get the best out of this. So I am going to get 1 boost, but you can see not all of them. And if I zoom out, now you can see here are these districts. So you start to imagine that the tiles, these hexagon tiles, which is that a whole map is made up of, you need to first clear the area by clearing the frost, and then you need to build the districts. And that's it. Once you understand that, you understand the concept of the building. It's slightly different to the game mechanics to version 1, but it's really nice when you get used to it. And then holding Alt allows you to see this. All right, so we're going to speed up a little bit. Optional was to place the housing next to each other or the furnace. So if you place them next to each other or next to a furnace, you'll be able to get those bonuses. Okay, now we need to gain access to food. So you can see now that our shelter has been taken care of. We have got our 10 from the wreck, 15 per district. We've got 2 districts, which is 30. We were 40 required, 40 being delivered. Great. So now we need to go over to the other side and we need to carry on. Again, this is where we can start to see how the land works. So we could push down this area here, or we can push out this side here. So what we're going to do is we're going to push out here. We're going to do one or two things. We can go 1, 2, 3, 4 is one option. And then we can go 5, 6, 7, 8. So we're not quite getting to that one, but we're close. Or if we wanted to, we can do that. It doesn't really matter. You just have to kind of decide what's best for you, how you're going to move them out. But that's the 8 that we're going to do. So 2 different paths. All right. And so far, we're all good. There's nothing else we need to worry about. We're just going to get this food. So now we can continue to break the area. And in this case, we're going to head down for more oil. And over here, we've got prefabs. So we can continue to build down. So we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to that. And then we'll come across this way. So we can go 7, 8. We'll do a tick. We can also head the other way at the same time. So we can head out this way. For example, 1, 2, 3, 4. Or we can go this way. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then 8. So we've headed over here, and we're going to push out this way as well. So again, it's keeping an eye on our scraps, because it costs scraps every time we break the frost. And it also takes workforce to do that. So right now we've got 300 per frost break, which means we're using 600 workforce just to be able to clear this land. All right, so we're going to do that. We can build another district, but this time we can build a food district. It has to be on the square that has the resource, and then we need 2 extras. So we're going to just start to head backwards, and that is our 3. So that's going to build us a food district, and then that's going to generate us food. Now we're minus 53 at the moment, so we need to be doing this. But now we need to prepare for the whiteout. So we've secured our immediate survival, but we now need to stockpile. Okay, now in order to stockpile, we need to produce more than we consume. So let's go ahead and build another food district. So we have this one. 1, 2, 3. And we're going to go ahead and build that. At the same time, we've got some spare scraps. So we can start to head down here. We'll do this one first. 1, 2, 3. And then we can come down this way. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There we go. So we actually made it down to the seal colony, which is great. So we're going to clear that area. Clear the area up the top. Build this. And now you can see we're going to go from -8. As soon as this is ready. Now we're at +37. That means that we are generating 90 food, 45 from each. We're consuming 53. And that's because of all of our districts. And you can see the food district is outputting 90. And we are surplus, we are stockpiling 37 per day. Now, we need to stockpile 40,000. Which means that we've got 60 weeks till the whiteout. But it's 154 weeks until we stockpile. So we need to stockpile quicker. Clicking on this, it will give us some information. This is either something we can act upon or it's just a part of the story. We can read that and then we can cancel this. All right. So now we have options. We can click on the food district. It's already at 100%. So we can now overclock it with emergency shifts. If we do this, we're going to go from 37 to 48. We can do the same for the other side. 48 to 59. So now we're going to stockpile in 96 weeks. Close, but still not enough. We can click on our colony or our settlers or our community and we can tell them to tighten their belts. The tightening of the belt is going to increase hunger, but it's going to reduce the demand of food. If we do this, we have now restricted the rations. Stockpile will be ready in 79 weeks. It is still not good enough. So what we need to do is find more. So we're going to head down with another food district. And this time we're going to put it over the seal colony. We'll just head back slightly. All right, that's now done and being built. But what you're going to notice, and this is where we need to pay attention, because we've got a demand of heat coming from the food district, the housing district, and the extraction district, we now do not have enough heat. We are unfulfilled. So we need to build another extraction district over the other oil wagon. And that is going to create another 60. It's going to require 20, but it's going to create plus 60. So as a result, as soon as that's built, we'll just fast forward the timer. So that's done. Okay. And that has now equaled out our heat. So we have no surplus. We're not producing any extra, but we have enough heat. And our oil, we are creating plus 15. Okay, so we have plus 15 oil. That means if for any reason we build anything else, we're going to use up more heat. Okay, so we're making 151 plus food now, which means our stockpile is going to be ready in 34 weeks. That is thanks to the seals. As you can see, we're getting 80 out of this. So if we look up here, this is generating 56. This one is also generating 56. Because we're going to be ready in 34 weeks, we can turn off the overclock now. We don't need the emergency shift. That will, if you leave it on, cause people to not trust you and to get injured and to die. So now, by turning both of those off, we're at 38 weeks. We're good. We just need to click on this. We've got a timer to activate this. There we go. So, against the elements, squalor, each day the wind grows fiercer. Relentlessly it beats against our buildings. The more we build, the more material we need. Provide more materials to reduce squalor before it harms our people. So I'm going to promise to gather more material. So now I need to do that. You can see right now it's minus 120. This means it's going to cause me a problem. So the first thing I need to do, I've already extended out here to this material. but I can also extend out here to this material. I can also head over to here to get more in terms of our food supply. I'm going to put another extractor down over the materials. Let that build. Okay. So that's saying to build an extracting district on a maintenance wagon, and then I had to extract enough material to satisfy our district's demands, which is currently minus 100. So we'll just speed this up. I have 4 people who are sick. I have a workforce here. Okay. So as soon as this is built, we'll just wait for a moment. Okay, now we're plus 50. That is because this generates 150 materials. But again, it is going to take some fuel and it's going to take some materials as well. But at the moment, as you can see, we're plus our food, we're plus our materials, and we have enough housing. We're also plus our fuel, so we're in a really good place. Alright, we need to have at least 1 food stockpile hub. Now the reason for this is because we need 40,000 food stockpiled. At the moment, we only have a capacity in the Dreadnought of 10,000. It shows you that there on the stockpile. So we can click down here on hubs. And at the moment, we can only build 1, but a hub, kind of like a storage bin. And if I zoom out of this, you'll see there's kind of like this blue area. It's kind of an area of effect, a circle around the pin. And if I place this so that 3 bars are connected. Now, at the moment, you can see they're not. But if I place this so 3 bars are connected, I will get a minus 10% workforce requirement. So in order to do this, I would first need to frost break. And then I would need to come through this area here. So I can do this one and this one at the same time, which would be really handy. There we go. And I can open that up. We're going to wait for this to complete. Now we're at our limit right now. So our food stockpile hub is full. So let's put down a hub. We're going to try and do it so it connects to these 3. Now, if you place them correctly, you could actually do all 6. But right now, I'm just going to do this one. So I'll place 1 hub here. It's connected to these 3, which means I get a minus 10% workforce requirement. I need to build a second one. Okay, I'm going to put that on this side. Done. Reason for that is that a hub will allow me 15 plus 15,000 stockpile capacity. I've got 10,000 at the moment. I need an additional 30, so 2 of these will reach that demand. I'm going to speed up time. Okay. A mysterious symbol. So now we get to choose how we want to mold our community. Do we want to focus on order, law and order, or religion? Or do we not recognize it at all? We're going to go for law and order. Okay. Now this has it's emptied out all of the prefabs. There's nothing left. So I can now demolish this and I will get back not only my prefabs, but also I'll get back my currency as well. So especially when we're limited at the moment, that can be beneficial. So we'll destroy that. Alright, stockpile is now going up again. Alright, now we have a problem here. Some people are ready to sacrifice themselves to lower the food required. It's just kind of dark and crazy really, but it's where we are. Alright, so we've already instructed the Wanderers to tighten belts. We've ordered the emergency shifts. We've got at least 1 food stockpile hub. Now we just need to finish this stockpile. We've got 40 weeks until the whiteout and 30 weeks until our stockpiles are done. We can continue to expand if we want to. We can use our balance that we have to keep going, so we can kind of head down in this direction if we want to. And now we've got 2 more available. But if you look, we're minus 95 on our heat. Minus 95, which means we need more fuel. We know there's fuel here. So if we go to our extraction, we can put the extraction down here. Okay, so that is now all of the fuel. There is no more fuel available. We've got 1, 2, and 3. So the only other thing we can do to solve this is to click on a district and emergency shift. We do the same on this one, emergency shift. Okay, so we haven't fixed the problem, but we have reduced it. Whenever you have problems that you need to deal with, you'll see them underneath the middle section here. They show up as these clouds. Small clouds are not really a problem. This is minor disease. This one is minor hunger. And this one is diminishing, but this one is squalor. This one, however, which is getting bigger, is heat scarcity. So it's cold, we haven't got enough heat, and so it's becoming a problem. So now what we're going to do is build this. Lack of prefabs, no resources for further construction. So we've run out of our prefabs. So what we can do is actually destroy something that already exists. Or, if we wait, we have no income of these at the moment. If we have enough to build extraction, which we do, we have enough to build an extraction, there are prefabs over here. So we can extract onto these. And then once that's built, that's going to give us an output. It says here, 25 weeks, we can hit plus 20 per week. So it's really a resource management game. But all of the resources, as soon as you uncover them, you don't need to transport them, you don't need to move them, like in Frostpunk 1. As soon as you've uncovered the district, it's available and it's part of your city. Alright. The whiteout draws near, a sacrifice. People in the camp are getting tense, they worry we won't gather food on time. The whiteout will arrive in 34 weeks, and we're currently nearly halfway to our stockpile. We can slaughter the seals, which will greatly increase food production, but the last of the seal colony will be butchered. Let our elders go. The elders will die. This will not reduce our workforce. Food required to survive will decrease greatly. Or don't resort to extremes. We'll be fine. Yep, I think we'll be fine because we know stockpiles are ready in 24 weeks. We're going to have 10 weeks spare. Alright, so that oil is now done, which means we're now back in positive here, which means we have enough fuel. So we've resolved that problem. And now for prefabs, we have 20 a week coming in from here. But there is only 480 remaining. So in 24 weeks, this will be exhausted. You just need to bear that in mind as well. Holding down Alt, we can see that there are some more materials over here. We are minus 10 on our materials. So we have two options. We can either overdrive this one to give ourselves enough, or we can build. But if we wanted to build, here it says we are short. We need 70 prefabs. So we're going to have to wait until we've got 70 prefabs. We're getting 20 per day at the moment, so we've got enough now. So now we can build another extraction district over this one. Perfect. That means we can now turn off this emergency shift. And as a result, once this is built, we'll be okay. And that is really it. It's about balancing this game so that you can make your districts efficient, so that you can deal with all of the challenges that come up, and make sure that whatever it is that you're doing, and then these are both overclocked and we are still short. If I overclock this one as well, now I've got enough. So all three of these are overclocked right now. And that's the maximum we've got. We've got nothing else available. This food is going to run out in 16 weeks. So it's running out. But we've done it. We've secured our food. Now we wait. We've got 10 weeks. We just need to wait for the whiteout. And that's it. We'll speed up time. We've done it. So that's pretty much it for now. That's all we needed to do. It was kind of an introduction to get us used to the game. We can see right now we've got an abundance of scraps. We've got an abundance of prefabs, so we could keep building. But every time we build, it affects our food and our materials. So you have to try and balance what you're building with what you're consuming to try and keep everything as key as you can on an equilibrium. Like, you want to make sure that if you're going to tilt in one direction, it's not for too long. Because otherwise, if you do start to snowball, like if you run out of fuel and then everyone gets cold and then everyone starts to die and then you don't have people, it can cause a lot of problems. So the whiteout was hit. Minus 815 fuel now. Minus 90 degrees. But that was all we needed to do for the prologue. So hopefully that helps. Again, if you need any help, you can press T and go through the tutorial. But that kind of just gives you the introduction. So that kind of 30 minutes that we just spent there, just going over the basics of the game. And now it's just about enjoying this story, appreciating that you will fail, things will go wrong, but we did survive. We're going to go now into chapter 1. So I will talk you through chapter 1, and then I will leave you to enjoy the game. I'll just let this cutscene play out. Alright, so now we are in New London. This will kind of give you the vibes of the original Frostpunk, more of the circular base design. Very beautiful built. The old captain is dead, the new London is weak. Food is low, overpopulation looms, and coal is running out. People yearn for a future worth dreaming of. But is it the same future for all? Keep the city together. Or hold its hand on its deathbed. You choose. Alright, chapter 1, Scraping the Barrel. It's got a really good progression system, you're going to enjoy this. So, coal is running out. The captain is dead as he weakened. Growing divisions brought city maintenance to a grinding halt. New London is left to suffer the consequences. As a steward, it is your charge to lead, but you must prove yourself. The overcrowded city is low on resources. Use this warmer year to build more shelter, secure coal, and power the generator back on. Let's get to work. So again, we're going to pause. We're going to zoom out. We can zoom out further now. But if we zoom in and press Alt, you're going to see there's a lot more resources that are now available. So we have our center here, our central area. To the north, you can see we've got a food supply. Some of this fertile soil has a decent amount, 84,000 units on each that we can extract. This one has 100 million. So it has 84,000, which is the top soil, but there is a deep deposit. Now, accessing the deep deposit requires a deep melting drill. We don't have that right now, so we can't do that. But there's 100 million resources there, so it's pretty much infinite. But in order to do that, we need a building, so we're not there yet. So just bear in mind that that's a progression. So we can see we have all of the food here. To the left here, we can see we have all of these materials. The same with the materials. There is a deep deposit. Some more food. With more infinite here. Coming down the same here. More resources, more materials. Lots more materials. Over to this side, we can see we've got some prefabs. And then over this side as well, we've got some prefabs here too. And then coming down here, we've got shallow coal seams. So some coal as well. The other icons we've got here are old way stations. There is 3 of them. There's one to the south. There's actually one to the north and one to the west. There's 3 in total. Alright, so it's time to get started. What we need to do is, it tells us now, new deposits are needed. Frostbreak, keep calling it Frostpunk. Frostbreak to a shallow coal seam and construct an extractor. Alright, so that's going to be our fuel. So we'll head our way out. We can do that from in here. So we'll just go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's those done. Nice. And we can keep coming down for more. We can say 6, 7, 8. That'll do these 3. Perfect. All right, let's get that. You're also going to notice a few additional things here. First of which, if we look at the top, this is now called heat stamps. It's no longer called scraps. We've got quite a large supply of prefabs, and there's now cores. Cores is additional to what we had before, and this is for advanced buildings and upgrades. Things to consider. We also, on the right-hand side, have a new addition. This is goods. Goods are a resource that we can provide to prevent crime and distance. We also over here got guard squads and Frostland teams, and we'll talk about those as they become more apparent later. In the bottom left, you're going to see here we now have the Zeitgeist. This is 3 different properties. The first of which is our technology advancement, our progress. The middle one is going to be our economy, our economic advancement. And the right one is going to be our society advancement. And so decisions that you make within this game are going to affect how people view your progression in these 3 areas. And some people are going to like it and some people aren't. Now you can also see we have 3 different factions available. We have New Londoners, we have Stalwarts, and we have the Frostlanders. And how these interact with each other is going to affect this bubble in the middle, which is called tension. So right now it's greatly increased because of notable cold and fear of running out of coal. At the bottom we can still see our trust, and that is our overall trust. In the bottom right we have a new menu now, which is called buildings. So now we can add buildings within districts. So right now we have 2 districts. We have the central district, where we can put a council hall, and a housing district where we can put a research institute. All right, so everything else is pretty much the same. We've just frost broken out, so that's fine. So now we need to do the same again. So we need to keep coming out. So in order to do that, we can do 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's done. And then we could just simply come back on ourselves. So 5, 6, 7, 8, just to open up this area here. We can also come down to the south if you wanted to. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We can do that as well. Okay, so we're just going to speed up time a little bit so these can clear the area for us. And then we can see what we're going to do. So, now that's done, we can go into our extraction as we did before. Create our districts. We've got housing, food, and extraction as before. We have 2 new additions now. We have industrial and logistics. So we'll talk about both of these in a little while, but for now, we're just going to focus on the basics. So extraction, we can start up here. So 1, 2, 3, and then we can come back here 4, 5, and 6. That is going to allow us, if we do this, we can go either way here. But if we do that, perfect. We can go and do another one of those. So extraction again. This time, if I go 1, so here, here, and here, these 3 are connected to these 3. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. That means they're both going to get a bonus of plus 20 heat each. But I need to go further out. So then I can go more. I can go 1. So that's 3. That's going to be 4. This will be 5. And then I can even go 1 here as well, which will be 6. So that's done. So that's our second district. I can build that. And then I can go for a third district if I want to. Now I need to be careful I don't go too much. But here I can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then back here will be 6. So I've pretty much covered all of the areas. There's still some more I can do later if I want to clear this area out. So I can go 1, 2, 3 around here. And if I go 4, 5, 6, I can clear around this side here as well. But for now, that's good enough for me. If I was to clear one of these out and come around this way instead, so that's the 3 I needed, 4, 5, and then that will be 6. I can do that instead. That also works. We're still getting a bonus on both sides, and the key is to make sure you're getting this near extraction district bonus. All right. So, looking at what we've got here, we have 3 districts here. Okay, now we only needed 1, but we've actually done 3 of them. Now we need to do some housing, because look, we're down. We can see we're actually having a problem with our shelter. So keep an eye on everything we've got available to us. We'll go housing, and we can start in here. And we're actually going to get a bonus, because if you look, we're actually sheltered from the wind. So those 3 in there are going to allow us to be sheltered from the wind. We need 3 in there to do that. And then if we come up the other side, we can quite simply say 1, 2, and 3. Done. Now, if we're going to do more housing, we can do the same thing here, which would be 1, 2, 3 to give us sheltered from the wind, and then 4, 5, 6. So now we're getting 2 bonuses. Not only are we getting sheltered from the wind, but we're also getting near housing district. And we're getting a bonus for the other side. So that's 2 sets of bonuses, which is 40 heat on both districts. And this is what you've got to start to work on when you're thinking about your structure and how you're laying things out. Not only can you have buffs, you can also have debuffs. For example, if I was to put this housing near to the extraction, you can see there's going to be blue because I'll get heat, but red because I'm going to get smog or disease or pollution as well. So you have to really consider as you're building out your districts, and holding that Alt key down shows you the difference between extraction and, as you can see here, housing. All right, so we'll let everything just build quickly. It's going to take a little while. There's quite a lot we've done there. As that all builds, it's really going to change what we've got going on. So we've got the fuel coming in now. We can turn on our extractor. So go to the center, generator, turn it on. All right, good work. We've secured our new coal deposit, but it's part of the last vein in New London. There are some deposits left, but it won't last for long. We need to improve our mining to use it efficiently. All right, the city's communities are voicing different ideas about how to do it, but we need to decide whose ideas are worth pursuing. Got to find a solution. All right, so now the next thing we need to do, we need to learn how to expand a housing district. So if we take an existing housing district, so for example, if we take this one here, if we click on it, there's an expand button. We can put 1 additional building slot on. So here we need 3, so 1, 2, 3. So 3 squares or 3 tiles allows us to put 1 additional building. I'll explain about buildings in a moment. All right, so we're going to expand that. And then we can also, because we're still short on housing, we can also build more housing. So housing district. Now we can't do this at the moment because we need to first clear the area. So looking at what we're going to clear, we're going to clear 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. That's going to clear all the way along here. We'll just break that out. We've got our expansion.
The steward appreciates all your adoring letters and will answer personally in due time.
I'm sure I will. Okay, so now we can go into housing again. Okay, so we can see we've got this one here. So if we put 1, 2, 3, and then we've got 1, 2, 3. No, that one doesn't count. We're not getting... Oh, okay, because yeah, we're too far back to get that one. That's fine. So this one comes all the way along here, so we're getting the discount on this one. Perfect. All right, so we've got our 5. We can do one more if we need to. Excellent. So we've got our 2 here. These ones all along here, that one doesn't get a bonus. You can see the ones that don't get a bonus, they don't show up. So we can build up to here. That's all done. Tick away. So this is why it's only 2, because we've only got the 1, 2. If we had one coming around here, like this to here, so we'd have to come back around ourselves to do that. We could get another bonus as well from 1, from 2, and then that would be 3. So again, just got to figure out how you're going to build this. Doesn't have to be perfect, but just take that into consideration. Okay. A child is born. Very nice. We now need to build a research institute. So coming down to the bottom right-hand corner now, we'll see there is a new button called Buildings. Each district has its own buildings. So we have our housing and our central. So clicking on housing, we can open up a research institute, and it will tell you exactly where to build it, or where you can. So we're going to click down here. And now we are building our research institute within this district. If I click on a district, you can see the building. It will take 14 days, but is now being constructed. Okay. That's now done. And as a result, in the bottom right now, we have an idea tree. So this is new. So if I click on this, we can now consider different ideas and things that we need to do. So we have heating, resources, Frostland, city, society, and hubs. Well, we're going to look at heating at the moment, and we're dealing with coal for now. So we're going to click on coal mines. Now we've got 3 different factions, and those factions are the Frostlanders, we've got the New Londoners, and we've got the Stalwarts. They're here. It gives you a different option. So for example, how can we mine more coal? We could do dust coal mining. Okay, constructed in extracted districts, mining operations where residual coal dust is sucked up and compressed into briquettes to make maximum use of the resources. And it tells you what it's going to require and what you're going to get. So we'll get an additional 150 coal, but it's going to cost us 400 workforce and slightly increased disease. This one, however, is only going to cost us 300 workforce, and it's going to give us 180 coal. But squalor is going to be increased. Also 60 material demand, whereas this one is only 20. These two are exactly the same, but it is the New Londoners and the Stalwarts agree with this. And this is the Stalwarts and the New Londoners agree with this. So this is basically blasting coal mine. So 2 of the factions want blasting coal mine and they agree with each other. But then you've also got the Frostlanders who want dust coal. So you've got to decide, are you going to upset the Frostlanders or are you going to upset the other 2 factions? If I do this, I'm going to get some progress. If I do this, I'm going to get some progress, some merit, and some reason. So it's going to cost me 50 currency to research the idea. And then you can see the construction cost as well. So let's go ahead and research the idea. It's going to take us 10 weeks. So we currently just have to wait for that to finish. All right. Different ideas. Communities of New London. Let's have a look. We've just done that already. Open that up. We've made that decision. We're good to go. So we're going to research an idea for a new coal mine, construct a newly researched building. But we don't have to just wait for that. There's other things we can do. Now we're producing coal at the moment and we have a stockpile, so that's good. We have enough fuel, so we're good. But we don't have enough housing right now. That's one problem. This is currently under construction, but this is the research institute which is under construction, so we have to wait for that. So we'll just give that a minute. There we go. Now we're +7, but we're -74 in our food. And we're also -150 in our materials. So we have to start considering how we're going to get our materials. We can kind of see this area all around here for materials. So we can start building out. So extraction. We need to build 6 of these, as we know. So we can say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's a good start. We can also expand here. We've got a bit of currency to do this. So we can say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then we need to do 2 more. So 7 and 8. That's the frost breaking going on there. At the same time, we can also look for food. So we've got food here. We've got these already, so we can put these food district down, which will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Nice. Very simple. So that's basic food. And at the same time, we can kind of research out here and try and find ourselves some more food. So just looking at where the food is, the material is. See, there's some more over here, and there's actually some more over here. So we're going to break out this way. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then that will be 8. We'll head in that direction. We don't have enough now because we don't have enough workforce or heat stamps, so we have to wait. There's nothing else we can do at this stage. We are getting income. We aren't getting any prefabs at the moment, but we will get those shortly. All right. Break everything down that we need. And now, whilst we're waiting for the research, we're just doing some other things. So we're not just sitting doing nothing.
Please ensure all personal timepieces are aligned.
Okay, so now we can see we have this, which is generating us 150 materials. So that's a good start. We have our food, which is generating us 50 food, which again is a good start. We definitely want some more food. So we can do that now with this food district. So we can say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's good. And with the Frostpunk, we can come up here as well. So what we're trying to do at the moment is we're trying to work over to 2 different areas. The first is we're trying to clean up this side. We'll open up all of that so we can put some more food down. And then we're going to want to break across over to this side. Now, we can't do this at the moment. We need more workforce, but we want to break over here as well. So we're starting to open up the area. We've used up most of our heat stamps for now. Okay, here we go. Admiring the generator. Good. So at any point we can actually click on a building if we want to, and we can actually view that building. We can zoom into it. And get a view and a look and zoom out again. Pretty good to be able to admire, kind of see everything that's going on. Looks pretty amazing. There's not really much else you can do at this stage, but just have a look at it. Alright. So far we have enough housing. We're working on food, and we're working on materials. Now, food's good. We fixed that. Materials we're still short on, but we're working on fixing that. We just need to be able to add more extraction zones, and for that we need more workforce. So if we look at our workforce, we can currently see what people are working on. We need more population. So we could stop something if we wanted to, but at the moment most people are already employed, so we've run out of workforce. Okay, what we've now done is with the research, we've got coal mines. We've unlocked the blast mine. We could now go to advanced coal mines, and we can continue down this road. Advanced blasting coal mines. So again, significantly increasing squalor. But we can see what it's going to take here to do this. Research the idea. And we can kind of extend this. So we have these 3 areas here that we've built. We can't do any more at the moment. We kind of expanded quite a lot more than we needed to at the start. But we have the idea of now creating buildings. Housing buildings, which we've done. That's the research. A blasting coal mine, or a council house. Now, in order to put this down, I'm going to need more workforce and more heat stamps. So we're going to wait. We don't need that at the moment. We've currently got a stockpile. We're absolutely fine. We're making more than we need. But as we expand, these are just things that are going to help us. Buildings help us to increase our efficiency in a district. Alright, so we're going to do the frost breaking. We need to do that. We're going to head over this way, break up here. Going to see if we can actually get a bit closer. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. See how we made that? We wasn't going to do it the other way, but we did there. We've made it across to this. So that's good. We have no workforce spare at the moment. But that does mean, because we're making an excessive amount of coal that we don't need. So we could just take one of these districts and turn it off. If we do that, we're going to give ourselves all the additional workforce. So now we've got those. Alright, so looking at what we can do next. More extraction. We can see what it's going to cost for us to do this. Also, we need to break open this area. So we've got this part already. If we go for extraction, not enough tiles to finish the district. That means we need to break some more. So we would have to... There we go. We can do those 8 there. Also with extraction, we can put that down here. So we can go for 1. Coming into this side, 2, 3. So we're now getting a boost off of these as well as these. 4, 5, 6. So now we have these 2. Now remember, this is creating us 150 materials. This will do the same, which means we're going to have more than enough materials now. So we'll just speed this up so it finishes. Okay. Can't do more extraction at the moment because we are short workforce. I have to wait for the workforce. It's now getting colder. We're in a colder season. So now we're requiring more coal. But we've also got that stockpile that we can use. So we're okay at the moment. All we need to do is make this building. And for that, we need a little bit more workforce. So all we're going to do is just wait for a moment. Okay, we can bring this down slightly. We're still going to, by making this 80% rather than 100, we've still got enough. In fact, we can bring it down again. And we're still okay. We can do the same with the food. We can bring this down. We're still okay. We're plus, which is good. The fact that we're plus here, and we have enough, same there. We're exactly right where we should be. So we're not really creating much of a stockpile at the moment, but we are okay. It also means we've just created, if you look, a lot more workforce because we're removing some of the workforce from these. So what that means is we can now make that building that we were short. This will be the blasting coal mine. So we can put this in any of these 3 districts. So we'll put it in this one. So this district is now going to have a building here. And that building is going to increase it from 120 as an output. Okay, we need a council. But if we go back to where we just was, so that was 120 that was outputting. It's now 300 because of this. 300. But as a result now, materials are short again. So this is again where you have to start balancing. So now we can come and increase this. Bring this back up to 100%. We'll use a lot more of that workforce, but now we're back to where we need to be. The only thing we're missing now is goods. We're not producing enough goods. We have enough of everything else. If you look at our coal, our fuel, we're good. We have enough housing. We have enough food. We're not really stockpiling any materials, but we have enough for now, so we're good. So we have everything we need at this stage. And now it's telling us to build a council hall. So buildings, central council hall. We need 200 workforce. Okay, well, we don't currently have them at the moment, so we'll go on to somewhere else. We'll take out some of the workforce from here, and instead we'll just add them to create this building. There we go. That goes in. The workforce is on this. Once it's built, we can then bring them people back. So we have enough here. There we go. They're back now. They've built. We increase this. And can you see how now we're keeping everything balanced? And that's the key. The key really is balance. You've got to make sure that you're not building too much at the start. But you have to make sure that as you build, you balance. And you build and you balance. And you do that kind of in alignment with each other. All right, so our first council session. Let's go. All right, anticipation fills the air as the council opens. Let's open the session. Very much a game of diplomacy and needing to make decisions that are going to either benefit or are going to hurt your settlement. You have to make those decisions. And right now, as you can see, this is the council. We have to make some decisions. Right. A special vote needs to happen right now. The community of New London have to accept you as their leader. Be careful though. If we fail, this will end our rule. 22 people for, 4 people against, 74 are hesitant. All right. Let's go for the vote. We need 51 to pass. Okay. People want me in charge. Good. Let's see. We must find more fuel. A steward you shall remain. Good. Okay, expanding coal extraction is a great success, but the vein will only last so long. We need to explore the Frostland for a permanent source of fuel. Okay. Build a logistics district on an old way station. Well, we started to prepare for this. And if we head up to the top and we look here, we have access to an old way station. So if we go to districts, we need logistics. For this, we need a 400 workforce. So we're going to have to borrow some workforce from somewhere else. So we'll take them from here for now. Okay. That means we've got 500 now. We're good. We are short here, but we've got stockpile. So we're okay. It's only when the stockpile runs out, we've got a problem. Let's use that workforce to build a logistics district. And we're going to put that on this square because it has to start on the main square. I cannot start it here. So the whole purpose of this is where it starts, but it needs 6 squares in total. So this is the only way we can go right now. Doesn't matter where it goes. It's just this is the only way it can go. All right, we're going to build that. And that is going to be our logistics district. Once that's built and we get our workforce back. All right. Now we can zoom out. So we had that first ability of where we was in the prologue. We couldn't really zoom out. Now we can. So we can see New London. We have 8,000 people. This is New London. Because we've zoomed out, we've also got this question mark. If we click on it, overpopulation and dwindling fuel reserves force many residents of New London to take refuge in these temporary shelters built around a small hot spring. Its inhabitants wait for conditions to improve so they can return home. Fantastic. We can bring back 2,500 New Londoners. So this will be great. Or we can come back later. Now it's going to cost us 5 Frostland team. So this global view or this overview is known as the Frostland. And here you can see we've got a Frostland team, which is our logistics district. It's creating 15 people. So to do something like this is going to take 5 people whilst they do it. So we've now only got 10. Also, we need to find a permanent source of fuel outside of the city. So for this, we need to move somewhere else. We've only got 180 weeks left at the moment. So we need to move. We're going to go to the Frozen Bay. Possible findings, Frostland dwellers. Okay. Threat level is safe. It's going to take us about 15 weeks. It's going to take 10 people. This one, 10 people, 15 weeks. But we're likely to find prefabs, cores, and dwellers. Well, we need cores. We have 0. We're better off going here first. So we're going to launch an expedition here to pick up the cores. All right, and then we're going to need prefabs and dwellers, so we can do that. All right, so that's our first job. We've got our people heading over there. Now, we can't bring people over here because we need 10. We've only got 5, so we don't have enough people. But we know that if we go back into our land, we know that the expedition that we have here gives us 15 people. We also know there's 2 more. If we zoom out, there's a point at the top here. There's also a point at the bottom and a point on the left. So let's go to the left one. Right here. We've got 1,800 people. We've got more workforce now. Alright, so let's start with a Frostpunk, with a frost break, and head this way. We'll grab some of the food on the way through. So we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Heading towards this. Also, you can see we've got a lot of stuff that's down at the moment. We can bring that up now. And hopefully that's going to help. So that's the food there. We're still short on food. So we're going to need more. We've got this one here as well. So now we can start to bring more food in. So we're going to go food district. And we'll go 1, 2. And we'll go up here. 3. Now remember, we want to go 4, 5, 6. Now, with this, you've got to think about what we're opening up to. So here, we want 1, 2, 3. That means we're going to connect to the next set. So you want to build this in such a way that when we build the next one out, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, these 3 are going to connect with these 3. So if I was to go, I can't do it at the moment because I need more prefabs. I don't have enough prefabs. All right, more people now live in the city. So again, as more people come in, you have to consider it's going to put more strain on your resources. And this is where the game tries to break you. So at the moment we have enough fuel, but we need more homes. We can't build more homes because we need more prefabs. We're not making any prefabs at the moment. So we need to build extraction. Now there are some prefabs over here, but to do that, we first need to expand. So we also have 3 here, look. These ones are already done. So if we want to do extraction, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There we go. So this is going to give us prefabs. Perfect. 15 per week. Now that's not a lot, but it's a start. And we can also overclock it to start with to get a little bit more. Now we're up to 18 per week. We could build a second district if we wanted to. But that's fine. We'll just use the one for now. We've got the 3 different... there's 1,100 because there's 3 different resource veins that we're using together. But here we can see 19 people have died and 29 injured because of the emergency shifts. So we just have to bear in mind, even though we've only got 1 emergency shift, it's caused a few people to die. Okay, well, that happens. There's not really much we can do about it. Wait for those prefabs. Infectious agents, the first crack. Should we allow mandatory checkups or ban them? So you can see this subgroup of Frostlanders will oppose the decision, but relationships improve with New Londoners and Stalwarts. All right. Let's do that. It's going to upset the Frostlanders. It's going to increase our relationship with the other 2. Okay, we can see that we're 85% getting to our location. We don't have anything in the council at the moment, so we can propose a new law if we want to. For example, we can rule. We're not really using any guard enforcers. A lot of people are against it, but it does unlock. Stewards may deploy squads of well-trained, well-equipped guards to put down disruptions. Okay. And on the other side, the stewards may declare a motion vitally important to the city's survival, curtailing debate and convincing many wavering delegates to support it. Again, people are really against it. So we could look at the rule. We could also look at society. So funerals, for example, if we want to put something in place for funerals. Some people did just die. So maybe we do some harvesting. Disease is slightly decreased and research speed is slightly increased. Or we can do ceremonials. So we can either harvest bodies or we can do ceremonial funerals. Trust loss resulting in deaths is decreased. Well, I'm not trusting on too many people to die. So we'll go for research speed and we'll put this proposal out there and we'll put a vote. All right, harvesting funerals. We need 51 votes. Yep, we got it.
Hear ye, hear ye. The ayes have it.
So the law has been passed and that now means harvesting funerals is enacted. And again, this is going to start to affect, as you can see in the bottom right here, some of our society.
A law has passed in the council. Take heed.
Some people will be happy, some not so much. But at the end of the day, that's kind of what we needed to do. So, okay, let's have a look at where we are now. We want to expand again, and we want to head out here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, which is good. 5, 6, 7, and then we can come in here to 8. Perfect. We've got enough food. We don't have enough houses. Okay, so can we build enough houses? No, we need prefabs. So we're still short on prefabs. Alright, so understanding that we need more prefabs, we can have a quick look on here. Those are all resources there. Same up there, same up there. So the only place we've got is down here. There is these ruins, but we're going to have to break the frost to get to it. So in order to do this, we can break that. Wait for that to finish. Now we can put an extractor on here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, if we do this, 1, 2 on these two, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So now we're going to get a bonus here and here, plus 20 heat on each of these because they're combined. Not this one, but that's fine. So we can see now we've got these three, which are energy extractions, and this one, which is going to be prefabs. All right, we'll let that build. We need more materials. So that's fine. We can now boost this. So that's going to bring that back up from 190 to minus 110. But we know we need to build another one. So we can do extraction. But in order to do that, we first need to open up this area. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Nice and simple. In order to bring the extraction, we need 600 workforce and 150 prefabs. Well, we've got the frost breaking, so once that's finished, and the building and everything else, due to the cold, some of our people have frozen to death. That is because we don't have enough. We need to sort our heat out. Right, we have this blasting coal mine, but we're not using it. It's now colder. So let's turn this on. Minus 260 now. Put another building down on extraction. Blasting coal mine on the second one. We can even put one. Now we need more workforce to be able to do this. But what we're going to do is put this on here. So minus 320. As soon as this one's built. There we go. Coal is running low. We're going to lay some explosives. Now, we don't have enough people here. Minus 260. Alright, we need more workforce to be able to turn this on. So what we'll do for now is we'll take some of the workforce out of here. And instead, we're going to turn this on. So this needs... So it's deactivated at the moment, and the reason for that is we don't have enough people. Now that we've got enough people and this is activated, same with this one. This one's on as well, so that's fine. We're just going to turn that one off for a minute. Oh, no, wrong button, sorry. We're going to turn that one off for a minute, and instead, because we need the coal. The coal is the problem here. So we're going to turn this up minus 12 now. We'll put on an emergency shift. We're plus 61. Plus 10. We're good. We do have a stockpile, so we're okay, but now we've got enough fuel. But people are cold, so we still have to sort out housing. So we can come down here to do this. Now, we're not going to have the 3 that we need, so even though we can do those 2, we're not going to have enough. But we'll put that down. And then once we've got more workforce, we'll be able to do this. So again, you can kind of see how this works right now. All of the problems that are starting to creep up, and they do stack up if you're not careful. So,
are now officially recognized by the city.
We now have a new faction.
Will be joining the next council session.
The Pilgrims are a new faction. You can see them on the bottom here. So we now have to take them into consideration. And death's due to cold. Trust fails. Okay. Alright, so pausing the game just to take a moment and look at what we can do. We definitely need some materials. We've run out of stockpiling, so we need to fix that. We need housing. That's a real problem and people are going to keep dying. Now we have a stockpile of food. So we can actually just turn this off for now. We'll be down on our food, but we'll get more people, which is kind of what we need. As a result, we can turn this back on and put it up to 100%. And then we can do this one as well. So now this is going to be a bit better. Not enough, but a bit better. We can turn this on and this one. 164 now. So we need more resources. Obviously, resources are a big problem. We can go ahead and we can build those, but to do that, it tells you we're going to need more prefabs and more workers. Okay? we can just bring this down slightly. And this one. But also food as well. So we can bring this one down and this one down. Now, obviously, we're going to be running out of food, but we've got food for 42 weeks right now, so we're okay. So we can repurpose the people over here. And actually, keeping these on 100 makes more sense because this is what we're short on and we have no stockpile for this. So now we're just going to speed this up. We're going to build more extraction. And here we go. We want to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There we go. So we're going to get the bonus here and here for the heat. And we're going to get these resources as well. We'll get that built. 107 minus 107. This is going to give us 150. So that's going to put us plus about 43. Well, I'm minus 7 at the moment. Let's see why. Should be plus 150. We're plus 30. Alright, so we can see we've got more down here, but we need to unlock these. We can't do that at the moment because we don't have enough workforce. So coming back up again, up to here. And this time we'll just bring these down a little bit more. We've got that workforce. Same with this building. Now we've got that workforce. We can clear this area. So again, we're doing the same thing. So we want 1, 2, 3 up against there. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Perfect. We'll break that. Fire in a shaft. Coal is running out. We can block off the air supply. Some miners will die. We can evacuate the white miners. The miners will be saved, but the blasting coal mine will be destroyed and the district's remaining coal reduced to 50%. I mean, do we kill a few or kill a lot? Let's try and save them, shall we? 115 weeks left at the moment. Let's go back into the Frostland. Now look, we've made it to this area. If we have a look up here, there's a wreck. We're going to get 2 cores, but it's going to cost 5 of our team. We'll do that. Over here, we've got more people if we need them, but we'll come back to that later. Over here, we've got some prefabs in the store. There's 300 prefabs. Using the mine will take fewer team. We'll do that. Alright, so now we've found additional coal. There's an outpost here that can increase our supply by 250 coal until its deposit of 448,000 coal is depleted. But we need to connect a trail in order to be able to bring that back. So in order to connect a trail, we've got our starting point. We can, any of these dots, we can connect them. So we can start to move towards these points. There we go. That's going to take 3 weeks, 10 people. It's going to take 15 prefabs and 75 coins. Done. All right. So 12,000 people in New London. And we can see here, we're going to start bringing coal down this trail, but once that trail is built. So we don't have any spare team at the moment. They're busy working, so we have to wait. But that's working. That's good. That stuff's coming back to us. Great. So we've kind of done everything we can do here. Let's come back down into London and see how we're looking. Right now, loads of material. So what can we do here? Well, we're overclocking all of these. So let's take off these emergency shifts because we know they kill people. And we don't really want them. Even with the prefabs. Okay. We're still plus 39, which is good. We're building up a bit of a supply now. But if we look here, 25 weeks of food left. That's okay. But we just need to bear that in mind. That looks like it's going to be destroyed. This we need to boost. 129. Right, that's one here. Let's look at this one. All right, we're going to go to buildings and we're going to make a blasting coal mine. So we can put that in here. So we'll do that. Because we're short here. We only have 42 weeks left. We've still got coal, but we're running out. We definitely need more houses. So let's do that. All right. We'll build out more houses here. $20 output, so that's fine. So a lot of houses so far. But we're still minus 28. Nothing we really want to do there at the moment. Just going to keep an eye on that. Minus 65 on the materials. And we've got more materials down here, so let's build more extraction. For that, we need more workforce. So we're going to take some workforce from here temporarily to allow us to build the new extraction, which is going to be 1, 2, 3. There we go, 4, 5, 6. Warmer season, heat demand has decreased. Thank you. That's really, really helpful. So we can turn that off. And now because we've got so much additional coal, we can build up a stockpile of it, but also we can just kind of bring that down a bit. In fact, I think we can just turn that off. So by turning off this one now, this one's already dead and it's actually deactivated due to, I think this one's no access to resource deposits. So this one's empty, so we can just destroy this one now. That was the one that had the explosion. And as for this one, we can just bring it down slightly. We don't need so many. So we're going to make a bit of a... Oh, we're actually good. So we're fine there. We're actually in we're in surplus now of materials. Food, 18 weeks, so we're okay. We've got a lot of people. So let's go ahead and build, whilst we've got the ability to, the logistics. 67 more prefabs. Okay. So knowing that we need prefabs, we'll go ahead and we'll boost these. And bring these prefabs up. Done. Now we can make another logistics department, which we'll do out here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's going to give us another 15 at the top right there, the Frostland team, which is great. And we've got enough people now so we can boost back up the farming, which we know was running a little bit short before. So now farming's back. But as a result, heat is now another problem. Well, that's okay because we can just boost this up. Bringing it up to not 100% because we don't have enough workforce to do that. But that's fine. 355 weeks left. We've got enough materials. We need some more houses. Now, we're just going to extend these houses now. So we'll just make them a bit bigger because we don't need to put a whole new district down. Just a little bit more there. We can actually do the same thing again. Make this one just slightly bigger. Oh. Okay. Okay, so if we look at our housing there, we can expand it again. So we can go 1, 2, and 3 again. And that should, hopefully, fix that shelter problem that we're having. Perfect. We've got more than enough there stockpiled. We've got more than enough there stockpiled. We're making good here. We do need to sort out our goods. The goods are a problem. Right, let's go back out to the Frostland. So we're going to head over here to the Frozen Bay. Launch an expedition. It's going to take some time. 15 weeks, so whilst they're working. We've got our path built, which means we're getting our coal that's coming in now, which is good. We could actually bring our people in if we needed to. So we could bring in more people, but we don't really have the accommodation for them just yet. We don't have the food sorted out yet. We don't really have the people either, so yeah, need to kind of figure out how we're going to do this. The lack of a law regulating children is causing tension. Okay, well, we can fix that. Let's look for the rules. No, not rules. Let's look for society. Childhood. No common rules. All right, we can do a family apprenticeship or mandatory school. Research speed is slightly increased. Percentage of active workers. Well, we need active workers, so let's propose for this. Because that's where we are right now. And you don't just want to look at where you are now, you want to look at where you want to be. And there's no guarantee this is going to pass. It did though, just. Kids will work. Good, that'll stop them getting in trouble. Alright, now we've got more workers. We can look at what else we're struggling with. And now we can start to expand beyond what we've currently done. So right now, if I look at this building, for example, I can just turn this one off. I don't need it on anymore. It's going to make it a bit easier for me. We don't have enough fuel, so let's just turn that up. Minus 25. Minus 10. Kind of want a little bit more on there. All right, there we go. So we just turn that one on slightly. All right, and we need food, which would be ideal. And food is all at 100% right now. Except this one, which we've turned off. We don't have enough people to do that. 177 weeks, 111 weeks. Okay. So we're pretty much using up everything we've got available to us right now. We can bring more people in. But if we bring more people in, we're going to need to house them. And etc, etc. Obviously, we're going to have those problems. So we're kind of balancing out at the moment. This is resources are nearly depleted here. So 17 weeks and that's going to run out. This one as well, 15 weeks. We're running out of prefabs. We've actually got enough prefabs at the moment, so we can just kind of bring that down a little bit now. I would say that's going to give us 12 a week, and we'll do the same here. So again, 12 a week. We've got a few more people. We're good. We can turn that off. We're good. Food. We can turn up just one more piece. We're good. Oh, we're not kind of good there. I thought we was. There we go. So just by tweaking a few things there, we're now in a much stronger position. We still need some fuel, some coal, but we can fix that. We haven't actually got this one active at all. So if we do that, we're now plus 43. But because we've got so much stockpiling, we can leave that one off to deplete right now. We're all right for 172 weeks. So we're okay for now. It's about to get colder, which means we'll need more. But we're okay for now. So what we need to do, now we've got to this stage, is go back into our districts and look at industrial. So industrial allows us to create prefabs. At the moment, the only way that we're acquiring prefabs is by extracting from resources that are available. Resources aren't always going to be available, so we're going to need a way to create them. So one of the ways we can do that is to create an industrial unit. For that, we need a little bit of a workforce right now. Well, we can create this kind of temporary workforce just to be able to give us the staff that we need to build this. So we're going to go for an industrial unit. All right, we're going to put that in here. So 1, 2, 3. And then we'll go over here. So 4, 5, and 6. This one's going to be red. So now you can see we've got green for living. We've got yellow for extraction. Green, this one for food. Light green for food. And red for industry. Alright, the stockpiles of materials have run out. Expand or build new districts. It actually hasn't. We've got 7,000, so we're okay at the moment. But yeah, they are going to run out in about 12 weeks. But we only needed the workforce here to be able to build this. Once this is built, we can turn this back on. We can turn it back on now, actually, so we'll be a bit better. But once this workforce is done, we can just turn this back on a bit more. Okay. So we haven't got any more people. But we do now have this, which is industrial. So this is going to generate 10 prefabs per week. Or we can set it to create 25 goods per week. So the objects necessary for everyday life, failure to meet the demand will cause crime to rise and reduce heat stamp income. So we have to be able to do this to reduce heat stamps, but also to reduce crime. Okay, good to know. So now we're going to need another one of these. So we can go into research now, and we can actually look at resources. So looking at what we're building at the moment, we've got factories. We can do a salvaging factory or a mechanical factory. Basically 2 options. Everyone's neutral at the moment. So the Pilgrims and the Pilgrims and the Frostlanders agree, and the Stalwarts and the New Londoners agree. So 2 different ideas, 2 factions on each. So just looking between them, this one needs more workers. They both create the same amount as output. This one is double the heat output. This one is less materials, less heat output, but more workers. So we either have less workers or more of the other output. So we'll go for this one. We'll research the idea and see what happens. There we go. Give it a little bit of time. And we're still looking for a permanent source of fuel. We're exploring still, 50% of the way there. There's nothing to do in the council, nothing to do in the research, nothing to do out on the Frostlands. So at the moment, we just need to keep on top of things. Now, as you can see, it's got colder. 53 weeks left of fuel. We need more housing. It's another problem. So we can go ahead and create another housing district. We'll do that up the top here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's going to be a bonus for here and almost a bonus for here. We need that square. Well, the cool thing about this is if I was to open this area up, like so, then I can expand this one here, and then that'll clean off those extra bonuses. So here we go. We've got the mechanical factory now. All right, so click on this. We're going to expand. We're going to put it into this square, and it's going to finish off those boosts. Doesn't really matter how we go or where we go. Just needed to go over here, so that's fine. All right, now we're getting a boost on both sides. Good. So that's food with the districts for housing. Everything is good there. Heading out now. We've made it to the frozen bay. We can see these 2 question marks. So we've got more people that we can bring back. And here, in a cavern near the bay, we found a disturbing sight. Bodies in sturdy Frostland gear laid neatly side by side. A map we found suggests they were heading to an old machine somewhere in the desolate coast. Alright, so desolate coast, this is where we need to go. We're going to do another expedition, and we can see here we're going to find oil, prefabs, and cores. And oil is kind of what we're looking for at the moment, so that's where we're going to head. We've got 20 teams, 20 available. We need 10. So let's launch that expedition. It's going to take 17 weeks. We've got 191 weeks of coal left at the moment. But obviously, the colder it gets, the bigger we expand, the more we're going to need. And as you can see right now, we're struggling again where we're not bringing enough food in. We've only got 29 weeks left. That's okay. We kind of need a little bit more accommodation. That's an easy one for us to fix though. We can just grab one here, for example. No, we can't expand on any of those. That one. Oh, we haven't got any space to expand. We'd have to do this first. Right, so we'll expand out there. We don't have any stockpile here, so this is something we need to fix. We can turn this on at 100%. It's only minus 23 now. We can even boost it, so we're plus 14. Actually, we don't need to boost it. There we go, plus 17, so we're good. Food, we're okay. Housing, we're okay. Food, we're good. Because we've still got 27 weeks left, so we're okay there at the moment. We've got enough people. So we could, if we find... Okay. We don't want people to die, but we could. Oh, we can actually expand this one now, I think. We've got enough space to do that. We're kind of wrapping around here, but that's fine because this one's not going to expand. I just want to fix out that food issue. Also, we've got a fuel issue. We're okay for now. Just need to bear that in mind. All right, basic necessities, no common rules. Right, let's fix that, shall we? We're going to go and have a look at the council. Look at the city. Basic necessities. All right, free essentials, which means trust will rise, or paid essentials, which means heat stamp income per capita is slightly increased. Production efficiency is increased. Well, we're going to go for this. Like, kind of feel like if you're going to live in a city that's struggling, then you need to pay your way. Basically taxing people. Are they going to take it? Oh, they just allowed it through. Okay. Alright, so basic necessity law has been regulated. You kept your promise and avoided unnecessary chaos in the city. Trust rises. Good. We do, however, still need to fix the goods situation. So even though this is good, we need to make it better. So, take the people that we've got. We can do 3 here. Alright, and that's going to allow us to expand. Now, for some reason, we have a huge material supply, a boost. So we can actually bring that down slightly now. In fact, we can turn that one off for now. All right, that's going to make everything a bit better. But the problem we've got here, the coal remains. This one is empty. So, therefore, we can break this up. We still have this one, but we're not turning it on. So we can turn this one on, put it on full, and we're good to go. We still have 2 more here if we need them. So we can build out more coal if needed. It's going to get warmer soon. So that's going to be better for us. But we definitely do need new deposits. All right. This one's also empty, so we're going to break this down. This one's also empty, so we're going to break this down. So we've got no more prefabs coming in through them. But also, because they've all just run out, that's why we weren't using as many materials. As you can see, we're back to a good place. All right, heat demand is increased. It's now a colder season. So we've got the colder season first. Let's go ahead and look at our buildings. We can put a blasting coal mine. We can't put one in there. We can do advanced blasting coal mine, though. So we'll put the advanced blasting coal mine in there. And then we'll go for a extraction. We've got 1, 2. Well, we've got that bonus coming around here. Right, so now we just got these 2 here, and that's all we've got. Okay. So we'll let that just finish boosting up. This now, having this is going to make a big difference. Cutthroat economies. Steward, now that we're charging for essentials, some employed families are unable to afford. Okay, so we'll help the people who can't help themselves. Okay. Unemployment grant. Heading out now, we can look at the area that we were searching. We found down here an oil system. I'll come back later for that. Up the top here, we can salvage the parts. The cart holds a large number of cores. And in the middle here, we found oil. Fantastic. So we're going to build a new colony. And now you start to see a bigger version of the game where you can start to connect different locations together. However, here in the oil tombs, on the broken shore lies the old derelict dreadnought. It seems to have been upgraded to run on oil as it rests beside rich deposits. Perhaps the site was a refueling station. But deep in the black pools lies rows of frozen bodies wrapped in shrouds and placed in the steel wells. Our scouts shudder at the sight. These oil deposits would surely solve our fuel need, but we would have to desecrate the graves to access all of them. Should we remove the bodies to access more oil deposits, or let the dead lie in peace? Well, I mean, they're dead. There's nothing you can do for them, they're dead. So I kind of feel like we're going to remove the bodies. Oil will save the city, but we need to adapt our generator to use it. In the meantime, we need to establish a reliable supply. It's time we settled beyond New London. Create a colony at the old dreadnought and connect it with a solid trail to New London. This will save our city. Alright, so we click on here. We need to connect a path. First thing we're going to do, and then we need to send colonists. So 2 things we need to do. Let's go ahead and see if we can connect a path to here. So we can't really go up that way. We can come up maybe this way. So onto here. Over to here. And then to there. Alright, that trail is being created. That'll take a little bit of time. We have 5 available. So we have 10 at the abandoned mine, 10 on the trail, and 5 on the colony, which means we're only going to have 15. We need more. We actually need more. So the best way to do this, if we zoom in here, is there was a third down here. So let's open up. Oh, let's come out of this, sorry. Let's open up this area by just pushing down. There we go. We only need to just reach it. We don't need to make anything crazy down the bottom here. And once we've done this, we can put a new district on. We need another logistics district. And we'll come back that way. So exactly the same as we did before. We've now got our 3 logistics districts. This one down here, blue, left here, and up here. That's going to give us additional team of 15, which is 20 total. Perfect. Now we can come out with our 20 and we can send the colonists, because it takes 20 of them plus a core plus 100 prefabs. So we'll send them and 3,000 people will settle here. Okay. It's going to take 15 weeks. We've got 57 weeks of coal left. So we're kind of pushing it tight, but we should just make it. Also, just considering here, 166 weeks of coal left here. We are starting to stockpile now, which is nice. So we're okay. We've also got this one. So let's look at buildings. We need some workforce. We've got no workforce at the moment. We just lost 3,000 people from here, so... Okay, just need to wait for the people to become available, especially as a lot of them are building down the bottom here. Now that's built. Yeah, we're okay for now. We've done the factories. They're done. We could do goods factories. That would make sense. Because we're struggling on goods. Let's... Okay, this one's going to take less people. We'll take this one. So we'll research this idea. 64 weeks left. We're good right now. We've got enough food. We've got enough houses. We've got enough stockpile here, but we do need... It would be helpful for us. We can actually not turn that off, but we can turn this down a little bit. There we go. Just to give us those extra people. And instead, we can actually turn this up. Just to try and get a few more. We've got some fuel. We're okay. We need some materials. We're definitely short on materials. Now we're short on people. Food. We're okay. We're kind of doing alright at the moment. In fact, we can turn these houses... In fact, we can turn that house off, I believe. Yep. Because we've got too many houses at the moment. So we can kind of turn these down a bit. Because we don't need any excess. Not right now. We can turn them up when we need them. What we do need is materials. And we'll overclock that one. There we go. And then we'll overclock this one. And we need a building. Industrial building. For this we need 300 workforce. We're so close. Let's bring this down ever so slightly. Just to go to buildings. So we can put this mechanical factory in here. I don't think we put that down, did we? Let me just double check. No, we didn't. Population's increased. So more people have decided to come and live with us. Alright. The father has come out of the office with his son. They both asked you to hear him out. The boy's not cut out for being a blacksmith, said the father. His knack is for words and poetry. No. We don't need that right now. Okay, so I was trying to put this building down. Oh, okay, I think it worked that time. Yes, now it worked. So now we're going to have that down. That's going to improve. There we go. Massively improved. And if we up that to 100%, we are now finally, for goods, we're actually stockpiling, which is fantastic. Now we can come back here and up this. So it's only minus 25 now. We can fix the housing situation because remember we were underclocking these. So now we can just overclock these back to where they need to be. That's the food situation. We can bring that up because we've got the people to do it. All right. This one isn't even being used. So we can turn this one on. Then we don't need to overclock this one. So we can turn the overclock off. And we're plus 85 on there, plus 12 and plus 2. So all we need now is just a few more houses. Which we can fix here. And here. And we are now, for the first time since we've started this run through, we have enough shelter. We have enough food. We have enough materials and we have enough goods, so we're stockpiling everything. One of the problems we have, though, is we don't have enough coal. 67 weeks at the current pace. So let's head over to where we was. Alright, we're going to go to the new location. Here we go. And this is where we started, if you remember. The old Dreadnought. This is the prologue. So we're back here again. Slightly different layout, but similar. But here we go. Look, here's an oil deposit. So this is now treated like a new location. So we have everything as new. And we have to treat this independently. So we'll break down here. That's going to be nice and easy there. We'll break that out first. We're going to need housing. We have some prefabs there, which will be nice. And we'll head down because we're going to need some food as well. Okay, so housing district. We'll start next to this because we know that this gives us a boost. That one we can't use. That's okay. We're going to do extraction. And we'll put the extraction on here to get the oil out. So now we've got housing. Got a little bit of food coming in. But we're going to have... This is the main one, is we're going to have this oil coming in. So we've got no fuel at the moment. So let's turn on the generator. We'll turn that on and get that working. Perfect. This is generating enough oil, but we could really do with some more. And in fact, if we wanted to boost this, we are now positive. We're making a surplus of oil. And we've got a stockpile, which is actually full. The hub is full right now. So what we're going to do is transfer. So if we click on the different locations, so we can see here we've got New London and Old Dreadnought. So if we click on Old Dreadnought, then we can click on resource transfer. We can send across, and all we need to do is 75, it said. That was all we needed to do. So if we send across 75 barrels, transfer the resources, a new fuel flows. Anticipation fills the air as the first transport of oil is sent to New London. To dream of a future without feeling cold feels surreal. To make it happen, however, we need to modify the generator to turn this black gold into heat. This will be irreversible. What future we build for ourselves will depend on it. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, that's the end of chapter 1. Chapter 2 is all about ambitions, and we're not going to cover that in this video. I'm going to leave you to enjoy the game and to play it. This was really just an introduction to give you an overview of how to get started. Now it's really up to you to decide where you go from here. So thank you very much for watching. Hope it's been helpful. If you learn anything else about the game, please let me know. I'm still new to it myself. I've played it through to get an idea, and I felt like that was a good way to start and to get you a good understanding. But yeah, please let me know in the comments if you figure anything else out, anything that helps you, and if there's a better way to do things. Otherwise, have a great day. Appreciate you, and I'll speak to you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.